Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be a thrift flip for this dresser. Let's take a look at how I transformed this piece. So this is a cabinet that I found at the auction online, and I'm embarrassed to say, but I did pay $50 for this cabinet. It looks like, once I was able to see it in person, obviously I can't see that online, it apparently looked like it was something maybe somebody built at home. It wasn't something that was manufactured. At least it didn't seem like it to me. It looked like maybe they just got some plywood and kind of put this thing together. And anyways, I overpaid for it, like I said, but I've been looking for something like this for quite some time that I could redo or refurbish, and I hadn't found anything. And so when I came across this, I thought this was the perfect timing for me to go ahead and purchase it and do what I wanted to do to it. I started by removing all of my hardware, and since I was going to be keeping all of the hardware and just reusing it, probably just spray painting it with a different color, I decided to just put them all in a Ziploc so that way I wouldn't lose any of the parts. Since there was quite a bit of dirt and dust collected in the cabinet, I thought it'd be easier for me if I just went ahead and vacuumed it before actually cleaning it with a wet rag and mild soap and water. So this is exactly what I did. I just vacuumed it with my shop vac, got most of the dirt off that way, and then I went ahead and cleaned it. After already having my suspicions that this was something that was made at home and not manufactured because of just the way it was built, from the holes that were unaligned on the back of this thing to the actual way the shelf was made and the support that they made, I found what was a painting of some sort, I guess, on the back of this shelf. So this definitely confirmed my suspicions that this was something that was made at home. I went ahead and removed the legs, and I am going to be keeping them for potentially a different project that I may want to use these for. This was the only place that the cabinet needed any filling, so I just used some plastic wood, filled it, and while I waited for it to dry, I went ahead and started sanding the rest of the cabinet. I didn't use my orbital sander to sand the doors because there was too many grooves and they had texture, so I ended up just folding a sanding paper in half and sanding it by hand. Here I am just applying one coat of primer to the entirety of the cabinet after removing all of the dust from sanding. If you're enjoying this video, please don't forget to give it a thumbs up. It truly does help my channel grow. And if you're new here, I encourage you to subscribe so that you don't miss any future videos with more DIY content just like this. Here's what the cabinet looks like after just a single coat of primer and ready for paint. Unfortunately, I would have only waited 2 hours before actually painting, but I got busy and I was not able to come back and paint until the next day. So the following day I came back and started painting with a brush, and the paint that I'm using is from WILLIALMS in the color Cascades, and then the finish satin. I will have a link in the description for you guys. The color wasn't penetrating as well as I wanted it to, and so I ended up doing 3 coats. For that reason, I ended up switching over to a foam roller for my last coat. Like I had mentioned previously in the video, I wanted to change the color to the fronts of these doors. I just felt like black was a little bit too dull for me. I wanted to brighten it up a little bit. And so I found that the easiest and the cheapest way to do this was to just use spray paint. So here I am just putting some tape along the edges of the frames of the doors, so that way I don't get any overspray on my actual wood. Now, if I did end up getting any overspray on the doors or on the frames of the doors, I wasn't too worried about it, only because I am doing this after doing the second coat of paint. So if I did end up getting any overspray, all I had to do was cover it with my third coat.
Looks like we've got a delivery.
I was super excited to finally get this package. I knew that I wanted to add height to the cabinet and also give it a more mid-century modern feel to it. I ordered these furniture legs off of Amazon and they were super inexpensive. You can find a link to them in my description. These legs came with a plastic stopper to the bottom so that they won't be bare on your floor. It adds an extra protection so that you don't scrape your floor. I removed them so that I could spray paint them separately from the legs, and I ended up needing 2 coats and waiting about 30 minutes in between. I applied 3 coats of water-based polyurethane with a 2-inch foam brush with 2 hours of dry time in between. I did sand with 400 grit before putting my final coat so the results would be really smooth, and I do encourage you to do this because it really does make a big difference. If you've made it this far into the video, thank you so much for your support. Be sure to watch until the very end though to see the big reveal. Let's recap what this cabinet used to look like and what it looks like now.